How much noise have we heard the last couple of weeks around the college football playoff being rigged? Hey, Florida State was left out. That's why this thing is rigged. We can tell they were rigged. They were at 4, then they got dropped down to 6 after going undefeated. They put Bama in. They must have a hidden agenda. Must have a hidden agenda, and that's what it must be. They want to get the big brands in there. That's what it is. They want to have Bama in there. They could not imagine the SEC not being in the college football playoff, and so therefore, JD, it is rigged. I got good news and bad news when it comes to the playoff being rigged. The good news is it's not rigged. So we can all exhale a little bit and just kind of feel confident knowing that the people that are running this thing, from what we can tell morally, are, in a good spot. The reason why we know that, if the college football playoff were to be rigged, it wouldn't be Florida State they would leave out. It wouldn't be Florida State. You know who they would leave out? Washington. You're saying, JD, well, we didn't have our quarterback. Yeah, but here's the argument I would make. Washington, smaller brand than Florida State. Yes, they made the playoff previously, but they were a smaller brand than Florida State. Also, they were undefeated conference champ. You're saying, well, they passed more of the eye test. Did they? Are we sure they did? Because actually, Florida State had a more sizable margin of victory throughout the course of the season than Washington did. You look at what Florida State did over the course of the year. They had an average margin of victory of 19 points a game. Washington, 14 points a game. Say, well, what about the last couple of games, JD? That was kind of the big thing, is because we didn't have Jordan Travis. The last 3 games, Florida State's average margin of victory, 8 points a game. Washington, their average margin of victory, the last 3 games, again, that we're being told now was Jordan Travis not being there. So those last 3 games, their average margin of victory was around 2.7 points a game. So if we were going to leave somebody out, if we're the committee acting in our best interest, eye test, resume, brands that are going to help us, we're leaving Washington out. We're putting Florida State in. I can speak for us here on YouTube. Like, it would, if there were media powers that be that were going to try and, boost things on YouTube, they would put Florida State in there for sure. We got a great Florida State following, so we appreciate them for that. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it was a thing where there is like a moral failing from the committee. The unfortunate reality, and here's the bad news. The bad news is the college football playoff isn't rigged. It's just an incompetent way the rankings were put together. Okay, and I'm not even telling you I disagree with the final rankings, because just full transparency, I think Alabama was one of the 4 best teams. The way they put those rankings together, though, I think it was awful. I think that kind of sucks, to be real. Because if I'm a Florida State fan, I'm watching this whole lead up, even after we lose Jordan Travis, and we're sitting there right in the top 4, and they're saying, no, that's fine. Florida State, keep winning, handle business, you'll be in. By nature of you not dropping Florida State before that game, right? If you think Florida State's a different team without Jordan Travis, fine, but let us know that as soon as it happens. Let us know after the North Alabama game. Let us know after the Florida game. Okay, if it really is that much of a difference maker to you, let us know now so we don't go into conference title weekend and try to put this thing together and say, okay, well, we won the ACC, we're undefeated. Like, why would anything change? So again, good news, not rigged. The bad news is the people that are in charge of this thing are just not operating with the highest competence level. Okay, so it's unfortunate, but again, there's actually more ACC affiliation on the committee than there is SEC. Like Boo Corrigan, whatever you want to say about him, he's with NC State. You would have to imagine he'd want to make the conference look good and put a team from his conference in there, the undefeated conference champion. So, not rigged. Arguably, the worst news is it's just sort of some incompetence going on across the board there within the committee. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.